Okay, what's up guys, this is Darkbblue. So starting from this video, I'll tell the story of my learning to play Godfall like a master player. Well, there is something special of this game. There's no main menu at all. I know some games send you directly into tutorial when you first enter, but the menu will show up in your future logging in. But Godfall has no main menu at all. And therefore, I was thrown into the tutorial. So let this video's content be about how I learned basic combat of Godfall. Now, this tutorial level actually combines tutorial and the lore together. So along the way, I was learning combat and absorbing information about the lore in the meantime. Quite overwhelming, you see. First, I just did some basic light and heavy attacks, and then I got a shield which allowed me to block enemies' attacks. Just when I thought this was for survivability only, I was told to use the shield throw attack. And of course, there is some parrying thing in this game. Well, to be honest, this tutorial level is far from enough for me to get familiar with everything. And furthermore, I found by putting skill points into certain skills, I could even unlock new attack moves. So I decided to take some time and summarize them all. Now, here is my summary. It will be helpful for new players in Godfall, as well as those who just only want to watch my story. Okay, one important thing, many attack moves in Godfall actually have cooldown or charge or something like that. And this makes them more like skills in traditional RPG games instead of a move in an action game. So I decided to sort these moves into two categories, with and without a cooldown. So there are really many moves without a cooldown. I can use basic light and heavy attacks, and these attacks can also be used when sprinting or after dodging with a changed animation. And of course I can block, parry and dodge freely. By the way, parrying is really easy in Godfall. The timing is, I like to say, very careful. Okay, what about moves with cooldown? Now look at the bottom right corner with the yellow bars. This is for weapon techniques. Different weapon types can weapon technique charge differently. Some regenerate with time, some requires hitting enemies. No matter the way, I need to have weapon technique charge first to use it. And there are two techniques for each weapon. The technique related to light attack is called Northern technique, and the other one is called Southern technique. Well, they are just names. And next, let's go to the bottom left corner. There is a circle icon here, but this is not any normal circle. It's in the exact shape of our shield, so this is a charge for shield attacks. Shield throw both direct and arcing, petrifying slam and shield bash, they all use the same charge. And the yellow bar in the same corner is for arcing fury. Some ultimate skill, you become invincible when it's active, something like that. So as you can guess, this energy is the hardest to get. Now let's turn to bottom right again. You can see the icons standing for my current weapon and backup weapon. When I hit enemies, the icon for my current weapon will fill up with orange color, and when it's full, I enter rampage mode, gaining some damage bonus. Well, since it activates itself automatically, I never need to mind my timing. The icon for backup weapon will also fill up, but with blue color. Changing weapon after it is full will perform so-called polarity attack, something like a shockwave centered at the character, and afterwards I will become polarized for a moment and do more damage. So maybe this encouraged me to switch between two weapons from time to time. Okay, with all these moves already summarized, I noticed that only two categories are not enough to cover every move. Next, I'll introduce the third category. These moves may interact with the first two types. For example, this timing attack. After certain moves, there will be glowing lights around the character, and attacking at this point will perform timing attack. Here, the certain moves include both basic light attacks and weapon techniques, and the following timing attacks are different, and this is how it interacts with first two attack types. And next, we'll have some attacks far more special than timing attack. Soul Shatter attack. Note the pink segment in enemy's health bar any attack related to light attacks, including Northern Technique, will stack this segment, which is so-called Soul Shatter stack. And any attack related to heavy attacks will then consume it, meaning transforming the Soul Shatter stack into actual damage. So you can count Soul Shatter stack as some bonus damage along with your light attacks, but this bonus damage won't become reality unless it's triggered by heavy attacks. And then there is weak point attack. The weak point will be exposed after enemy's attack, which is this red dot. Now you just need to aim at the red dot and any following attack will get weak point bonus. Note that you don't need to actually make sure that attack hit exactly the weak point. What is required is just aiming down the red dot through your post when pressing the button, so it's quite easy to use. And you can use breach attack. This yellow bar below enemy's health bar is kind of like poise in Dark Souls. As far as I know, you can perform takedown upon a breached enemy, and takedown can be used on other occasions like after parry. Well, this time it's a summary that can cover every attack move I know. Maybe there are some moves I don't know and that's not covered, but anyway, that's all. Well, I don't know if you are overwhelmed by so many various moves just like me. When I was new in Godfall, I always forgot to use some attacks, even when they got fully recharged. But interestingly, I got much more familiar with them naturally. I didn't really make any effort to memorize them. So I guess maybe there seem to be a lot of moves at first glance, but it's actually not too many for a looter game where you just go through endless fights after fights. They will just become part of your habit, your instinct. And in this way, everyone can enjoy the fun of fighting like an action game master player, right? Oh, and one more thing, maybe you are curious about the weapon types in Godfall, so let be the final content of this video. Now meet Longsword, the most standard balanced weapon. Its basic attack provides good flexibility and mobility, while weapon technique can deal good damage. And this is Polearm. It feels kind of similar to Longsword, the flexible type, but it's more about attack distance. For example, the Southern technique is throwing the spear. Well, I don't quite like its weapon techniques. And here is Warhammer. It's slow but devastating, and the heavy timing attack of Warhammer can parry away weak enemies' attack. Maybe this feature is there for other weapon types as well, but at least I first found it on Warhammer. Now this is Greatsword. It's said to well balance the agility of Longsword and devastating power of Warhammer, but my feeling is it's just almost the same as Warhammer, except Greatsword's weapon technique charge doesn't gain with time, but only by hitting enemies, and this makes it harder to use. And the final weapon type is Darkbblue. It's even more about agility than Longswords, and it has very unique weapon technique, inner focus. So it's a lasting inner focus mode. When in this mode, every attack, even including shield throw, is counted as weapon technique, and therefore many interesting builds are based on Darkbblue. But that's much later story. When I was still in the campaign, I don't really like Darkbblue. I seldom use them, if not never. After so much effort, now I finally understand the combat in Godfall a bit more than before. Well, I count it as a step closer to playing Godfall like a master player. But there's one more thing that concerns me. I've got a lot of new gears even before finishing the tutorial. I have to deal with them. So how should I choose gears and upgrade gears? It's obvious that my next stop shall be learning gears in Godfall. And let's leave it to next video. Now if you like my video and want to join me to enjoy the fun of playing games like a master player, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.